This week on Healthy Living, breaking the silence on autism. Ghanaian International Behavior Analyst Beatrice Fosua discusses the challenges of autism in Africa and what can be done. Plus, monkeypox is spreading around the world. What is the disease and how dangerous is it? These stories and more in this edition of Healthy Living. Hello, I'm Linor Moudou. Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. Autism spectrum disorders is a group of disorders with similar characteristics. People on the autism spectrum often struggle with social interaction, communication, and eye contact. But the degrees and needs of patients vary from one person to another. Autism includes Asperger's syndrome and pervasive developmental disorder. The World Health Organization says autism spectrum disorders affect 1 in every 100 children worldwide. While some people with autism can live independently, others have severe disabilities and require lifelong care and support. Characteristics of autism can be detected in early childhood, but the condition is often diagnosed much later. In Africa, many people with autism face stigma in their communities. In some cases, parents even struggle to accept their child's condition. A specialized care center in Rwanda is trying to change that. Our correspondent Michomiza visited Autism Rwanda Center, a school that supports children on the autism spectrum and their families. Here is more.
Here in the Rwandan capital, Kigali, there is a special school specifically for children with autism. It welcomes students between the ages of 2 to 15. The school opened about 8 years ago with only 6 students. But now 57 have enrolled and there is a waiting list of over 300.
Children with autism are able to study here. We help them to do everything without judging them. In fact, we understand their behavior. That's the difference with other schools whereby no one understands them. Here, they play together. But in ordinary schools, when they try to play with other children, they are mocked, excluded, etc. What they need is a supportive environment.
The founder says the kind of education provided here will set these students up for success in the future.
We have children who are in the 5th year of the primary circle and who study well, who have good grades. So these children are capable of achieving a lot. So we focus on an individualized and personalized program.
The number of children living with autism in Africa is unknown. Experts say the condition is underdiagnosed due to lack of awareness and cultural misconceptions. Educators say children on the autism spectrum should be sent to specialized schools as early as 3 years old to better meet their educational needs. Mrs. Kamagaju says once the stigma is lifted, they can thrive socially, scholastically, and even musically. One parent says he has noticed significant improvement in this child's ability to learn since attending school at the center.
Before my child came here, he was not able to communicate, even to write. Today he's able for counting and writing. He can write 1 to 20.
And the students do not only learn from the teachers, they also learn from each other.
I like listening to Radio Voice of America.
Beatrice Fosua is a clinical supervisor and international behavior analyst with Autism Compassion Africa in Cape Coast, Ghana. She discusses the challenges faced by African patients with autism and what needs to be done.
So we have some early signs of autism. So it's like a neurotypical kid by 6 months. The child should be kind of having eye contact, can be playing and having back and forth communication with, say, mother or parents, A child with autism may show signs that may not be able to have that contact with you, eye contact with you, may not be responding to their names. Sometimes some of them are non-vocal to you at a stage that a child should respond to vocals. A child with autism may not have that development, so may not be communicating using their vocals at that time. Also other different things like attending, being able to focus, and then some repetitive behaviors too. We have specialists, people who have specialized in autism, and so are able to offer diagnosis for individuals who are autistic, but it is scarce because in Cape Coast, and in Cape Coast we have one teaching hospital that has a doctor who diagnoses children with autism, and we don't have enough in the other regions. Children with autism are just like us. Most of them are still yet to understand that a child with autism also has a unique potential. But mostly people stigmatize, label these individuals who are autistic, and so it leaves that burden on the parents. So at times parents feel so bad to send their children to school just because they feel people will label them. We had an incident where a 2-year-old boy was buried alive because he's autistic. He has a special needs, and so parents think he's not a human being, he's a snake, he's a river kid. And by God's grace, this boy was rescued. Following this news, we went to the community where the child was buried. We went to talk to people one-on-one. We went to houses, we went to the assemblyman, and then visited individuals who have such individuals who are autistic. So as part of the direct services, ACA provide ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis Intervention, for children with autism and their families. We work on communication, social skills, self-help, and other areas too, so that they can gain independence and being able to integrate in the community. ACA has taken it upon ourselves to create the awareness, and as part of that, we've had to create a public service announcement to share out there on social media, and we use the local language. And we do have trainings for schools. So we've had partnership with a tertiary institution where we had to go there, talk to teachers about autism and how they can help bring out the best in this case.
Sel Seyum is a mother whose son has autism. Faced with her child's unique abilities and needs, she decided to turn her challenges into an opportunity to bond with her son while empowering others. She shares her story.
My child was very severely diagnosed, but he's fine today. He has improved a lot. Consistency is important. The diagnosis comes with a language disorder. So his program, educational program that I designed, has a language-oriented program. And under that program, we had to tackle like 4 components that help him to be where he is right now. So it's number 1 is reading, number 2 is nutrition, and his music, because that's his strength, and also the physical movement. So that hands-on program, that REACH program, helped him to get where he is now. At 18 years old, he has graduated last year, and today we look forward for his adulthood transition. So for him to do what he loves the best and the most, which is music. He has this extraordinary memory of sound. People do have photographic memory. His auditory memory is unbelievable. So we use his strength to teach him. So when we create teaching materials, the unit we're tackling becomes lyrics. I don't know how to sing, so I guess he got that part. And he asked me to read him the song with whistling. So that's his way also of interacting, that's the social interaction. But in terms of concern, now that he's 18, we would like, an establishment to teach him, considering his unique profile, his talent, to be able to teach him from where he is at and bring his talent out there, So he has a lot to share. He wants to learn, he wants to know. But we see a bright future for him because he has strength, he has happiness, he has talent. For parents, I would say focus on the strength of the child from the beginning. Once you focus on the strength of the child, many doors can open. The challenge will become an opportunity to teach more, because every day is an opportunity to teach more, and also for him to learn, for the child to learn. Focus on the nutrition aspect. This is really one of the interventions that we did that really has helped our child, focusing on whole food. Parents, take care of yourself. At least in my experience, at the beginning, I didn't do it, and I paid the price, because your child would need you forever, and take care of yourself, find that balance. You are also a role model, so you take care of yourself and your child will take care of him or herself.
The WHO says it has recorded more than 90 cases of monkeypox in a dozen countries, including Britain, Spain, Israel, France, Switzerland, the US, and Australia. Monkeypox is caused by infection with monkeypox virus. Symptoms include fever, chills, rash, and lesions on the face or genitals. The viral disease can be spread through close contact with an infected person or their clothing or bed sheets. Monkeypox can be fatal in about 10% of infections, but so far no deaths have been reported among the current outbreaks. There are no specific treatments, and experts say most of the patients can recover within weeks. Vaccination against smallpox, a related disease, has been proven to be effective in preventing monkeypox. Historically, cases of monkeypox have typically been reported from West Africa or Central Africa, where the disease is endemic in animals. WHO says there will be more cases identified as surveillance expands in non-endemic countries. Dr. Amesh Adalja, senior scholar at Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, Infectious Diseases and Emergency Care, tells us more.
I do suspect we're going to see more cases in Canada and the United States. And that's because this monkeypox outbreak is a little bit unusual. It's not something that is attributable to contact with an infected animal or travel to an endemic region, but it's something that's spreading through social networks. And because it lacks some of those prior epidemiological characteristics, we may miss cases. Cases may have the opportunity to spread, and that's likely going to cause more cases to be found in the coming days and weeks.
A mechanical engineering professor at the University of Texas, Austin, is creating nanorobots that have the potential to cure cancer and clean lakes. Diana Mitchell visits the professor and his laboratory to see his work firsthand.
Yubing Zhang is working with his team to create tiny robots, substantially smaller than the tip of a pen, that will swim through the human body and autonomously repair problems like a cancerous tumor.
Hopefully one day they can get into our body and can do surgery or detect where those tumor cells are, so it can be non-invasive therapy for us.
This may sound like science fiction, but scientists worldwide are working to make it a reality. These robots enter the body through an injection or by swallowing them. Once given a target like a tumor, Zhang says they will communicate with each other to work collectively to achieve a goal. Some researchers use ultrasound waves or chemical reactions to move the nanobots. Zhang's team is using optics, light in the form of a high-powered laser beam, to manipulate the tiny robots, which are made of gold, silicon, and polystyrene. Zhang's goal is for the micro-nano robots to learn to work together, much like a school of fish.
How can we make a lot of these different type of micro robots so that have interaction, so they can form a group behavior, a coordinated behavior?
And the future roles of the micro-nano robots will not be limited to the human body. Zhang says they might one day be placed in a lake to swim around and clean up pollutants. Clinical studies in humans are scheduled to begin in the next few years, so it may not be too long before nanorobots are performing surgeries from within.
For the latest news and coverage on the coronavirus, stay connected to Voice of America at voanews.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Linormoudou. That's our show for today. Until next time, stay well and strive to make every day a healthy day.